Good morning to all. Can you hear me?
Good morning. Yes, you're audible, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, you're audible, ma'am.
I'm very happy to invite you all for this webinar on cyber security. So on behalf of WIMS, we conducted more than 70 webinars so far. So this is a unique topic, cyber security. So we are already familiar with a lot of securities which are available for secure our physical things. Suppose we missed our jewels or money, so we can report to the nearest police station. So many things are available. Suppose we missed our confidential data, so which may be stored in cloud or it may be in our email. So a lot of online transactions are there. So similarly, lot of security issues are also increasing each and every day. So we should be very careful to protect our data, program, network, and device. So this recovery is also very difficult in case of cyber security. So many cyber security courses are available. Even this ethical hacking is also there. So these are all the two different poles. So now I request our today's guest, Dr. Itiram Rasakan, Associate Professor and Placement Head, Jamia Hamda, New Delhi. So welcome you, sir.
Yeah, very good morning, ma'am. I'm delighted to be a part of this session today. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So as ma'am just said, this topic is very relevant and relevant from the point of view that everyone is trying to be smarter these days and they're trying to hack things. As recently you must have heard news like someone was trying to hack our vaccine centers. So this is the kind of state that is the world is in. So first I'll be having a two-part of this session. I'll quickly take it and I have kept it simple because MBA students are also there. So it's a combination. I have heard it's MBA plus MCA students and plus the audience. So I'll try to keep it simple. We'll have the question answers towards the end. And I'm sure it will be very interactive session since these topics that I'm covering, these are relevant with every one of us. We are daily facing these kind of attacks either on our mobiles, on our credit cards, on our debit cards, on our systems. We are regularly constantly we are under the threat. So we'll first try and see what cybersecurity threats are, and then we'll look into how in COVID times these threats have increased many folds and how admirably we have been able to thwart these threats and we have been able to be victorious over them. So let's look at the presentation. I'm sharing the presentation now, starting the presentation in fact. So I'm Dr. Itiram Razakan. I'm representing Jamia Hamdard. This is one of the colleges Center of Eminence awarded by MHRD.
Just a minute,
Government
sir.
of India. Yes.
So just a minute. I think your Vaishali is going to read the profile. Just a minute,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Please.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Now I call upon Soumya from MCA to say about WIMS. Over to you, Soumya.
Thank you, Vaishali. Good morning to one and all. WIMS Institution of Information and Management Studies are communicated to deliver the quality high education in highly cooperative learning environment observed involved product and enable the student to achieve the deserving growth. WIMS is a part of Vivekananda Education Institution established in 2020. Offer the full time of MBA and MCA programming approach by AICTE, New Delhi and affiliated to Anna University. The objective of the institute is to import quality management and computer application education to women studies to become a competitive managers. The whole approach the college to cooperative exchanging the students competitive with confidence to fact the even change technology and business relative in the Indian and global environment. Thank you. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
have, yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you very
so much,
much.
sir.
Thank you, Vaishnavi.
Uh,
Thank you.
yeah, I went through the websites for the last 2 days. Been a wonderful college with wonderful placement records and wonderful facilities and wonderful conferences being held. So I'm
I
indeed
request,
delighted.
sir, just a minute, sir. I request, why shall you tell about the sir profile?
Yes, sir. Now I call upon Rahmat Nisha Begum from MBA to introduce our honorable speaker, Itiram Raza Khan, to the meet. Over to you, Rahmat Nisha.
Good morning to all. Dr. Ihtiram Raza Khan is working as Associate Professor and Placement Head at Jamia Hamdard, Delhi. He has over 25 years of rich experience and has done PhD in the field of software engineering and neural networks. His research areas are software engineering, computer graphics, machine and deep learning, big data, cybersecurity, and IoT. Having successfully authored 20 texts and reference books and various book chapters, he has over 100 publications in reputed international and Indian journals. He is associate editor at International Journal of End User Computing and Development and reviewer at Springer Nature and International Journal of Engineering Research and Technology. He is also editorial board member of International Journal of Latest Transactions in Engineering and Science. He is the senior member of IEEE, CSI, and ISTE, and member of many computer associations. We are so happy to welcome you, sir. Now the session is over to you.
Thank you very much for the kind words. And let me quickly take this across before internet create some problems for the session. Let's begin this. So I'm going to be talking about cybersecurity first. Cybersecurity is the practice of defending computers, servers, mobile devices, electronic systems, networks, and data from malicious attacks. As I just said, we are under the constant attacks from the hackers, we are from the defaulters who want to get into the system, gain something. And with COVID times, I think the problem has gone many folds because there are hardly any opportunities, placement opportunities, salaries are not there. So these crimes are on the rise. So when I say security, security can be, as we'll see, I'll pass on the slides, but I'll take the main part since it's only 1 hour and we have to discuss lots of things. But surely you can always put up a question towards the end. Wherever you have a problem, you can always pose a question, or you can type in the chat window also in between, so that towards the end we look in the chat window also. So when I say security, as the ma'am also said, HOD ma'am, security can be of many types. We're talking about network security, application security, information security, operational security. So we are all concerned about all kinds of securities. If you look at this kind, the global cyber threats continue to evolve at a rapid pace. This figure is more than 112% of the records exposed in the same period in 2019. So in 2020, it went up by about 100%. So their attacks started to take place and this just doubled. The numbers just doubled. If you look at the second one, medical services, retailers, public entities experienced the most breaches, with malicious criminals responsible for most incidents. Some of these sectors are more appealing to the cyber criminals because they collect financial and medical data, but all businesses that use network can be targeted for the customer data, the corporate espionages, or the customer attacks. So before we get into this, let me give you 3 reasons why there are cyber attacks on us, why there is always a threat. And these 3 things, if I put on my fingertips, IoT, Internet of Things, big data, human behavior, these are the 3 reasons which are responsible for cyber attacks. Never before never before we had so much of data. Now big data has given us so much of data. And now the hackers want to get into that big data, the kind of data that we have. So IoT sensors are everywhere. There's data everywhere. So earlier, what used to happen with the information system was we used to have standalone systems. We used to have maximum the company was connected. One company was connected or 2 companies were connected. But right now, the entire world is connected through the devices, through the big data, the IoTs, or the human behavior, as we say. Human behavior is one of the biggest factors. Like human behavior, our behavior is always like we want to learn what the other person is trying to learn. What is he doing? So we are more concerned about the other person also. So before they start, just at the start, I'm going to give you 3 of these reasons which are there, which are responsible for cyber attacks, why we are so much into the cyber attacks, why are they happening? Because we have plenty of data now. Data is scattered everywhere. Our credit card information is everywhere there. Our debit card details are there on the internet. If we load our data into one of Paytm, the hackers are just waiting for it. And so let me just take you across that. So the types of cyber threats that can be there. Now, you are MBA, MCA students, plus the audience also. And if you look at this, there are 3 kinds of cyber threats that you will find. Cyber crimes are there, cyber attacks are there, cyber terrorism is one word which the other countries are trying to use to terrorize the countries. No longer we have those horses, elephant war now, we have cyber terrorism. We are trying to put terrorism into a country, spoil the country, and exploit the GDPs and all. So if we look at this, we'll elaborate this. Now, let me just compare between the traditional crimes and the cyber crimes. So on the top of it, you have the traditional crimes. I'll discuss about the traditional crime, and then towards the bottom of the screen, we look at the cyber crime. So I'm trying to just compare them together. So burglary is one. We are breaking into a building with the intent to steal. The thieves, the dacoits, they try to get into your home by breaking your locks. They get into the house and the intent is very simple. They want to steal something. So this was a traditional approach, but now the traditional approaches are gone. Now we have hacking. So computer and network intrusion, providing unauthorized hackers. Now the hackers are trying to get into your systems, into your mobiles, into your data and trying to steal. And this kind of theft is much more than what the dacoit will get in your home. If he breaks into your house, he'll find 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakhs of rupees. But if he's able to just manipulate your bank account, he can take out 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 1 crore of rupees in a single click. So these, I'm going to just compare, then I'll just take across how we can put a break to all this. Look at the screen. The first one is deceptive callers, the criminals who call their victims and ask for their financial or personal identity information. Now, this kind of a problem is happening with everyone. We get calls regularly. In South also, you must be getting those calls. In North, we have plenty and plenty of calls. Every person in a daytime will have 15 to 20 calls. I'm calling from a bank. I'm calling from this service. I'm calling from this service. Please give your PIN. Please tell your OTP and all. They try to fool the person. Now, as we are computer literates, we are not fooled, but the elder people or the people who don't know computers, who are new to computers, they can fall into the trap, and they do fall in trap, as we are listening daily that in reading in newspapers, there are crimes, the money has been taken, they ask for OTP and you give the OTP or the PIN number and the money is gone. So look at the second part of the slide where we are going to compare it with the cyber crime. We have a crime which is we term as phishing. So phishing is a term which every computer professional knows now. Phishing is a way of attempting to acquire information such as username, password, PIN, bank account, credit card details by masquerading as a trustworthy entity through electronic communication. Means they'll call you, I'm calling from your bank, your account will get locked if you're not going to tell your PIN, blah, blah. So there are so many attempts being made daily on us. If you look at the screen now, the first one is extortion, illegal use of force or one's position or powers to obtain the property or funds. So this was extortion we are all familiar with. I'm sure South doesn't have so many extortion cases as in North we have. So North has a lot of extortion cases. They kidnap person for it, or they will use their own position. Like a person sitting on a higher post will ask the lower person for some benefits and all. So that is extortion, a kind of extortion. If you look into the computer terminology, internet extortion is there now. The hackers are trying to extort you through internet, hacking into and controlling various organizations' databases, promising to release control back to the company if the funds are received and some other demands are satisfied. So if I give this example, we'll be having more and more examples just after this. So if I give you example of this internet extortion, it's like ransomware. Everyone must have heard about ransomware. the hackers will gain control of your system. And once they gain control of your system, they release your system only when you have paid the money you have paid in Bitcoins. There was a case from Noida where some person's website was hacked and their business data was just compromised, and then they were asking for Bitcoins. And Bitcoins in monetary terms, they were asking for around 6 lakhs rupees to give the control back to the company. Now the company approached the police, and the police, then they approached the cyber cell for this. So I'll tell you the solution, how it happened. Once we are going into the how we are going to rectify the position, how we are going to gain the control back, I'll just explain this, how we are going to do it. Right now, I'm telling about the problems that are there, then the frauds, the deceit, trickery, sharp practice, breach of confidence, perpetration of profit to gain unfair and dishonest advantage was the human tendency. Now, if you look at the internet fraud, you'll find a broad category of fraud schemes that use one or more components of the internet to defraud prospective victims, conduct fraudulent transactions, transmit fraudulent transactions. Now, this is happening in banks. They're gaining the OTPs, they're transferring the money, they're transferring some part of your money from your account. And there are so many terms that will come across, the salami attack or squatting and all, that will be taking care of this. So which whatever was done manually in previous times, in 20s, 2020, 2010, we are doing it through the cyber crimes. So similarly, traditionally, we used to steal the money like this. Right now, we are stealing it through the internet. Now, this is something which is very important right now. And this is child exploitation. Child exploitation was always there physically, but now there is cyberbullying. And cyberbullying is one of those crimes for which if you go into the jail, you won't have a bail. Now, this kind of a cyber crime is occurring through the internet, and we'll have to keep our kids safe from such kind of cyberbullying. So using computers and networks to facilitate the criminal victimization of minors. Now the minors, they are being just pushed into the free games. Once they start playing free games, they are now they're falling in the trap of the cyber crime or the hacker, and now they are going to ask for indecent proposals and also whatever is there. We'll have to keep track of these crimes. These are the kind of crimes which are now occurring with the help of internet. Now this chart is important, and this chart, once you have these slides with you, please go through them. I have collected them from various sources, and where you'll find that the cyber crime against the individual are as simple as phishing, spamming, cyber defamation, cyber stalking is one of those which is now very prevalent. A hacker is just stalking you, stalking a female and then attacking the female. Everyday newspapers, we are reading these news that there are cyber stalkers there. They're following a female, throwing acid and all. Then email spoofing, salami attack, malware attacks. So these are all attacks against the individual. We are going to take them one by one in the preceding slides. If you look at cybercrime against property, there are cyber crimes against intellectual property, crime, cyber squatting, hacking, alerting unauthorized way, logic bomb, Trojan horses. These are against the property. Then if you look at the third one, cybercrime against the organization, that means you're going to harm not the individual now, not his property or the organization's property. Now you're going to target the organization. So hacking, password thefts, DOS attacks, denial of services attacks, virus attacks, mail bombing. These are the attacks which have been very prevalent in 2020. And all of a sudden there has been a jump in such crimes. We'll deal how we are going to counter them, how we are going to reduce them, how we can make ourselves safe, how we can have the hygiene now, and how we can minimize them. So if you look at this, these are the statistics. If you look at 2020, there are now 144.91 million new malware samples in 2019 and 2020. If you look at 2011, we were a lot safer, 65.26. Now it is just the double of it. If you look at this one, Mexico is the most susceptible nation, which is under the maximum threat. And if you look at India also, we are not in this category. So of 60%, 94% of their data has been attacked. So these are the nations where they have mostly attacked. So now we're going to talk about malware now. Quickly, I'll take it because this is theory and we all are familiar with this, but what reference I'll use, I'll just show how I'm going to link them together. So malware or the malicious software, malware is any software intentionally designed to cause damage to a computer, server, client, or a computer network. We are making use of malware to cause damage. A wide variety of malware exists, including computer viruses, worms, Trojan horses, ransomware, spyware, adware, rocky software, and scarceware. We're going to look at them one by one through diagrams. So I just explained malware. So the term virus and malware are often changed interchangeably. Malware is a catch-all them for any type of malicious software. Viruses are designed to damage its target computer by corrupting data, reformatting your hard disk, or completely shutting down your system. Virus is a specific type of malware that self-replicates by inserting its code into other programs. We are all hit by viruses. We have the best of virus scanners in our systems, but still uh, people are able to get intrude into your system. Intrusion is the word. So first malware that we're going to talk about is the Trojan horse. You must have heard this name, Trojan. So Trojan horse enters your system disguised as a normal harmless file or a program to trick users into downloading and installing malware. Every day you're getting the emails, you're getting the SMS. Please click on this link, you will get this benefit. Please click this link, you're going to get the discount and all. And once you click that, Trojan horse kind of a malware, and this Trojan enters into your system. And once it enters into your system, it will sleep for the time being. And once all of a sudden, look at the third one. This allows the cyber criminal to steal data, install more malware, modify files, monitor user activity, destroy data, steal financial information, conduct denial of services on targeted web addresses, and many more. And was a case from Noida, which was reported to the Noida police, and it was like someone watching pornography and all, and the hackers were constantly just looking into him, looking into his activities, and they then asked for ransomware, and he had to pay the money to hide this. And there was a case with the police. How this solved, I'll just tell you towards the end. Then the other kind of malware that we have is the spyware. Installed on your computer without your knowledge, spyware is designed to track your browsing habits and internet activities. Very dangerous. Once it is into your system, the hackers are just spying onto you, looking onto you, what you are doing, what kind of files you're using, and what are your weak points and all, so that they can manipulate you at a future time. So sorry, it automatically just stopped. Just a moment. I'm sure my voice is coming.
Yes, sir.
I'm so sorry. Just by mistake, I clicked that part. Then you have this adware. As I said, you have mails coming to your system, to your mobiles, to your facilities. They're saying, you will get this thing for free. You will get discount on this. You are going to get something for this. And a form of malware which presents unwanted advertisements to the user of the computer. You get advertisements, you get tempted, you click them, and you are gone. So these kind of things, as we'll see, how we are going to keep track of them, how we'll brush these aside. Then there are a kind of malwares which are scareware. Now, if you look at this, just given the shape like a corona face. So if you look at the scareware is a form of malware which uses social engineering to cause shock, anxiety, or the perception of a threat in order to manipulate users into buying unwanted software. So many times you get a message on your system, if you're not going to do this, something will happen to your system. Your system is 60%, 70% virus infected. Just buy this virus scanner, just use this browser. Otherwise, this will happen to the system. And these are the kind of traps which the hackers or the bulliers are trying to put onto you. Now, if you click this, if you take the facility, this scareware is going to enter into your system. And now they have been able to get into your system through scaring you. And out of your shock and anxiety, you just clicked it by mistake. So scareware is another very bad kind of malware. Then malware, as I discussed recently, 2 slides back, it was ransomware. Now, ransomware is a type of malware that holds your data captive and demands payment to release the data back to you. So it's a very tricky situation. Like your system is hacked, the lock is being put onto your system, you're not able to access your files, your data, and the boss is asking for the data. Come on, I want the report, and you're not able to open that report. You're not able to do that. So now what happens? Now the hackers will ask money for releasing your system. And once they ask, that money is not 100, 200 bucks, 500, 1000 bucks. It is like in Bitcoin, 6.5 lakhs, 12 lakhs, 15 lakhs. They want money from you. And once they want money from you, this is ransomware is a very tricky problem. Now, again, the cases every day are coming to the police and they are saying that we are being harassed, our systems are. So the best possibility that can be there to avoid this, I'll cover towards the end when we look at the vaccinization of this part, how we are going to remove it. It best part is please keep the backups. It's always a very good habit to keep the backup of your work. Fine. Make a few habits. Just take them on your fingertips. Change the default passwords. Now, don't use the default passwords. Change the passwords regularly. Every time updates are there, just take those updates. And then unwanted applications from your systems, just release them. And then another part, as I said, keep taking the backup. So once you have the backup, and if a cyber criminal is asking for ransomware, you can load the system back. Agreed, you can lose 1 day of data, 2 days of data, but your lakhs and lakhs of rupees would be saved. So please keep a backup of whatever you're doing properly. Towards the end, we have the solution to all this. So ransomware attacks, if you look on the screen, in 2019, US was hit by an unprecedented and unrelenting barrage of ransomware attacks that impacted at a potential cost in excess of $7.5 billion. So government agencies, healthcare providers, 89 universities, they were all affected. So this is the kind of magnitude, the potential that ransomware can have. And the red countries that you see on the screen are the worst hit. Now, these are the countries where there have been maximum attacks, as we saw in that chart also. India was, thankfully, was not there in this part. So if you look at this again, reasons for ransomware attacks can be phishing, emails, lack of training awareness, weak passwords are some of the top causes. As I said, we keep very weak passwords. We don't keep special words into our password. Some people try to keep the password as I am simple, I'm honest, or the film name, and everyone can crack the password. So please keep the password a difficult password with a special characters in between. Then having business continuity and disaster recovery solutions are in better position to recover back. So we'll discuss on this. The top malwares in 2020 have been these: WinRAR malware, fake OS updates, widespread IoT attacks. I'll discuss more on them. Now, this kind of social engineering, we'll talk into social engineering, where social engineering is an attack vector that relies heavily on human interaction and often involves manipulating people into breaking normal security. Now, just let me take across this. These are the people sitting, they are interacting with each other. And this is a kind of scenario which you visualize. You have your circle, you have your friends, you have your teachers, we are all connected. And this raises our risk because we are constantly sharing information. We are sharing information where it can be. Now, these are the phishing attacks that we're talking about. A hacker targets a company using social networks or other internet data. He finds employee with access to company's data systems. So this part of a cycle will continue. The attack is through a email, through a person's email, and then it propagates. And the hacker uses the backdoor finally to steal the information. So anatomy of a phishing attack is this. Once you have the slides, please go through them thoroughly and just see. It is all very explanatory and it's all very sequence wise. Now the illegal contents, as you would see, there are two words given here, dark web. This dark web portion which you are looking on the screen is that part where illegal activities are taking place on the internet. This is called the dark web, illegal pornography. Here the drugs are sold. And so these are the places where maximum kind of cyber crimes are occurring. What we see on the internet is a good web. We are working on a clean web. But right now, if you get into the root of it, dark web side of it, this is the part where hackers are prevalent. If you look at the left hand side, unlawful content is there, copyrighted material is being compromised, child animal pornography, selling illegal substances in form of drugs. So this is all taking place at this part of the now these are the kind of crimes which we are daily seeing on our systems, on our mobiles. If you look at this, OTP frauds are there. We are constantly having, just tell me the OTP of yours. I'll do this. Give you this facility, and the user falls into the trap somehow. I don't know, but 10-15% people daily, they're falling into the trap. Then the QR code frauds are there. You are scanning that QR code and the frauds are happening. Then KYC, when you are doing verification, frauds are there. Customer care numbers are carrying the frauds. And if you have read through the newspapers, there have been reports like if you take the phone number from the internet, from the Google, or from when you call the customer care, those numbers are not actually from the customer care. They're actually, the hackers are using those numbers. They're getting your information in disguise of helping. And then once you go through it, you are gone. So these are the kind of threats that we'll explain. Quickly, OTP frauds. We are all a witness to this. A woman loses 7 lakhs by sharing OTP 28 times. It happens 60,000 gone, 50,000 gone. And by the time you block your card, your 4, 5 lakh, 10 lakh rupees are already gone, taken away by the fraudster. Then the types of wallets and activations. We are all smart people right now. We have wallets, we have Paytm wallet, we have Airtel wallet. We have so many wallets right now. GPay wallet and all, we are activating that. And then there are hackers using, targeting these wallets, and we are in a way being tricked by the fraudsters, where QR code frauds are constantly giving us the goosebumps. Then sharing application apps, they are giving us the goosebumps now. We are being constantly being compromising on this. Then customer care, as I said, the numbers they will propagate would be the numbers which are used by the hackers. And once you get into the trap, you are onto there. Then KYC verification is there. They're calling you up and they're taking your data. And once your data is with there, you are losing your important money. So I just wanted to, these are the kind of transactions, the frauds that occurred. Cybercrime rises in Hyderabad amidst lockdown. These are the newspaper reports. There were OLX frauds, money lending application frauds, online investment frauds, the medical frauds were there. So there were so many frauds. And why did they take place? Because of our anxiety, because of a fear. For 1 year, we were under constant fear of Corona. We were under constant fear. We were not moving out of our houses. We were doing online transactions, which were more. So never did we have so many online transactions in our life as we did in last 1 year. So that is the prime reason. So these are the examples in the slides, because I want to take the second part of mine, which would be the solution to this. So these are all examples that we were, yeah. So the consequences of all these cyber crimes of frauds, we have the penal code there, which 153A of IPC, which punishes offenses related to promoting enmity between different groups on grounds of religion, race. And so many times we see on the internet, these crimes are taking place. As I said, cyber terrorism. They are creating the rift between communities. They are promoting, let's say, the clashes between two groups, two religions and all. And they're all punishable by law. So 153A will have the guarantee of punishing those people who are trying to disrupt the harmony of our country. Then 153B of IPC safeguards the interest of class of person and national integration. by providing punishment against imputations and assertions to national integration. So these are all there. 295A, 505, 188, 66C is again, this part is where we are concerned more of the deals with punishment for identity theft, and says whosoever fraudulently or dishonestly makes use of electronic signature, password, or any other feature of a person shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 3 years, or shall be liable to a fine which may extend to rupees 1 lakh. So 3 years of jail plus the fine under the 66C IET Act, where you're trying to do something which is not. Yeah, so these are the, I'll just share another part of the, which will be covering how we are going to counter these cyber bulliers. Let me just share something. Just a moment. I'll just confirm in between if the sound is there and if my screen, another screen is coming. It's 11:40 already. I'll just cover up quickly. This part is very important. Am I audible and visible on the screen?
Sir, your voice is audible, sir.
Okay, and screen
Sir,
is
voice
there?
is audible.
Screen is there?
I think thank you slide is there. Thank you slide.
Okay, sir. So we are going to take the second part of this. Now, this is the kind. The second part of this. Now, this is the kind. So this is 5 laws of cybersecurity. So please go through them. You will always require these laws, and please always keep in mind law number 1, if there is a vulnerability, it will be exploited. This is a law which says if there is any chance of being vulnerable, it will be exploited. If there is any chance, the hacker will get back to you, they will steal, they will rob you. So we'll have to keep track of how we are going to safeguard us. So if law 1, if there is a vulnerability, it will be exploited. Law number 2, everything is vulnerable in some way or the other. Now the second law is very important. This is the research of some person that I'm sharing, and it's a very wonderful research being done on this part. Everything is vulnerable in some way or the other. Now, law 2 says everything is vulnerable, everything can be targeted, and the target is, as we'll see, it's very difficult. Law 3. Now here I'll take a very good example. Human trust even when they shouldn't.
Sir.
Hello, sir.
Sir, again, slide is not visible, sir. You can go for 5. Show this.
So voice is not there.
Voice is clear, sir. Your slide is somewhat not visible. You can go to PowerPoint presentation mode.
Okay, just a moment, sir. Is it visible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm so sorry, it just got there from the screen.
No issue. No issue.
Law number 1,
No,
if there
no.
is a vulnerability, it will be exploited. Everything is vulnerable in some way or the other. Law number 3, human trust even when they shouldn't. Now, this point is very important. This is where the hackers attack us. They attack our psyche. Humans trust even when they shouldn't. We as human beings tend to trust everyone. Let me take a very good example. Hope everyone understands Ramayana. We have Lord Ram, we have Sita ji. Lord Ram's wife was Sita, Mata Sita. So when Ram went to the forest, or he was under the exile for 14 years, so they went to the forest. And one day, Sita ji saw one deer and some reindeer. Deer was there, and she asked Lakshman ji. She wanted this deer. So Lakshman ji was the brother of Lord Ram. He went after the deer, trying to fetch the deer for Sita ji. Now, in that time, by the time Lakshmanji was going, he draw a line outside the kind of house they were living in. So he draw a line and called it Lakshman Rekha. So we all understand this word. The word is Lakshman Rekha. Lakshman Rekha is a line being drawn by Lakshman, who was the brother of Lord Ram, and asked Mother Sita, please don't step out of this Lakshman Rekha. Please don't get out of this line, because you are protected inside this line, and if you step out of this line, you are not protected. Somewhere now Ravan comes in. Ravan was the king of Lanka, Sri Lanka. So somewhere Ravan comes in, he asks for some food to eat. Sita ji starts giving him the food. Ravan didn't accept the food, saying Sita ji will have to come out and give the food. Now Sita ji was in a dilemma. She had to come out of that Lakshman Rekha. And Ravan was getting angry, furious. No, if you are turning back a person, a hungry person, you are doing something very wrong. So it happened, Sita ji stepped out of that Lakshman Rekha, and Ravan was able to abduct her, was able to just carry her by force, and Sita ji was just taken to Sri Lanka. And that's where uh, the entire battle took place between Lord Ram and Ravan. So this is the point which I was trying to explain. Law number 3, human trust even when they shouldn't. Sita ji trusted Ravan, thinking he's some saint, he's some a very poor person, he's a religious person, so why will he harm her? But instead, as soon as she stepped out of the house, out of that line, she was abducted. She was abducted and taken away, and then there was a preceding war between Lord Ram and Ravan. So law number 1, 2, 3, human trust even when they shouldn't. And this is the prime reason why we are being attacked. And law 4, with innovation comes the opportunity for exploitation. This is a very important law. With innovation comes opportunity for exploitation. As we are moving towards a higher society, smarter society, as I said towards the start of the session, we have 3 reasons: IoT, big data, human behaviors. They're all changing. And with IoT comes innovation, with big data comes innovation. And once we are into innovation mode, there comes opportunity for exploitation, and hackers are exploiting that part. So hackers are exploiting your innovation power, and they are attacking you when you are under the fear, you're under the anxiety, they are attacking you. So let me just take you 2-3 slides further, and we'll again come back to all these points all of a sudden. So law 5, when in doubt, see law number 1. So this is a type of a loop. So this is a loop which will continue. And if you're going to follow, if you're going to just keep track of these laws, you will be safeguarded. If there is a vulnerability, it will be exploited. So always remember that. You can't say I'm in a level 5 company, I have a CMM level 5 company, and no one in the world can attack me. Even America, even White House was attacked by the cyber hackers, by the bullies, and they can attack anything. And once there is a vulnerability, it will be exploited. So these are the 5 laws of cybersecurity which we have come across through. And as I said, there were 131% increase in virus detected in March this year compared to the last year. We can see there, look at the intensity, magnitude. Now, the coronavirus pandemic is not the only major threat for the world, but also exposing internet users to a whole new level of risk online as remote working software, telemedicines, online education become more common globally. Now, tell me, was there a time when online education was so popular? Now, because of our compulsion, we can't get out of our houses. We are under lockdown, 3 months of lockdown, 6 months of lockdown, or we are avoiding going out because we are constantly being told by our prime minister, our ministers, like, please go out only when needed. So we are going for online things. So every online business was never so prevalent. Now online, we are doing everything online, even our groceries that we are ordering, our rice, our oil, everything we are ordering online. So that is why there are so many, there are better chances of doing it. If you look at this, Chinese government cyber agency added that remote working applications, online medical consultations, e-learning are harboring vulnerable hackers that they are exploiting. DDoS attacks are there on online education. I'll talk about them. So these are the all that are happening. Now here there are three reasons why security measures more than ever. Why there is whole talk of cyber security? Why are we so much interested now into this topic? Why is so much of research going into this? Why are we going for assessment schemes of cyber security? Why are we going for this? And that is because of three reasons. Now, these three reasons are: a heightened dependency on digital infrastructure raises the cost of failure. Now we are so dependent on digital infrastructure that even 1% of hacking will ruin us. We will be completely left out of gear if we are not going to heighten our security, because we are now online for everything. Initially, we were only online for 20% of the things. Right now, we are online for 80, 90% of the things. Wherever we have connectivity, we are online. Then even they didn't spare, if you have this site, worldometers.com, it was giving the data about the coronavirus cases and all. Even this was not spared. Even this was hacked. So second point, someone is putting on the mic, that is causing the disturbance. Please put the mic on mute. 10 more minutes and then I'll take the questions. Just 10 more minutes and then I'll take the questions.
Sir, hello. Sir, are you able to hear my voice? Sir, your voice is not audible, sir.
Hello.
Sir, I was able to hear my voice.
Sir, it's showing the host has put me on mute. Am I audible now?
I'm the host. Yes, sir, audible. Yes, sir, audible.
So there was some, I think there was some click on that, which put me on mute.
Okay, okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sorry, sir.
Yeah, I'll just quickly get across and take the question, sir. Then the second point, which
Okay,
has
nice.
been very important, which is there. Why? Because cybercrime, they are exploiting your fear and anxiety. We are under constant fear now. We are under the fear, if I get corona, I have no vaccine, I have no medicine. But right now with the vaccine, that fear is slightly gone. But with the second trace of corona coming in and with the cases rising, 25,000 cases a day are rising now. So again, the fear is coming up. So this is the kind of fear. If there is a lockdown, what will happen? The elder people are under a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. So cybercrime people, they are just exploiting this fear and uncertainty, and this they'll keep on exploiting. Now, the third one is more time online could lead to riskier behavior. And now, since we are online classes of my kids, if there are two kids in the house, every time we are there on the system, we are trying to get the material. Every time we are going to the banks,
Yeah.
we are going to do it. So this has made the chances of attacks more. So quickly towards the last, where what we can do, I'll summarize this. So whatever we can do, we can put up additional access controls to our systems. We can blacklist IPs, the IPs which have been troublesome. Our computer science department, the internal personnel, they can blacklist the IPs which are causing the damage. Email filtering can be done. Then we can prevent software installation, unauthorized installation can be stopped. Anti-spoofing controls can be put up, which are getting very popular. Phishing reporting has to be done. And then the last point, we have to raise the awareness. We'll have to train the employees. We'll have to train them against all the kinds of attacks that are taking place. And then mitigation techniques are all there, which I'm sure everyone is now looking at. Every company is maintaining what are the threats to that company, and they are keeping the security according to those assessment that they have done. So what we can do, we can step up the cyber hygiene standards. We can be extra vigilant on verification. We can follow official updates. Please don't go for unofficial updates, go for official updates. So I finish it here. It's 1 hour and I'm ready for the questions. You can, in a minute time, you can ask the question before I summarize what I taught. If someone joined late, as I said, if you have to succeed in this scenario, you will have to think like a hacker. Now, this is my just line for this session. Think like a hacker. And if you think like a hacker, you can be one level above the hacker, and hacker won't be able to since you are a computer literate person, you are MCA student or you're MBA student with IT specialization also, you are the one who can give them the taste for the money. So always think like a hacker, always keep track of Lakshman Rekha. Whatever the company or the college has put a Lakshman Rekha for you, please follow that Lakshman Rekha. Don't step out of it. If you step out of that Lakshman Rekha, I'm sure you will be attacked. So inside your company, inside your home. Now, when I say, if you have a broadband at home, you don't change the password regularly. Please change the password of your home broadband often, after 15 days, 1 month. Please keep on changing the password. Now, when you don't change the password, hackers gain away. So these are the kind of things that we think they make it a habit. Keep changing the passwords and have updates regularly. Discuss with the family. If you're sitting on a dining table, discuss with the family, like if any problem you're facing from the cyber side or from the internet side, because there are kids in our family who are being bullied. So they can always, if we discuss everything with our family, I'm sure we can get over this. So thank you very much for giving me a chance for this session. I'm waiting and looking into the chat window now to see if there are any questions being typed or they will be asked. Thank you very much, Professor Mohan, for giving this opportunity. I'm stopping the sharing part to come on the screen.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful speech. Really, we are admired about your speech.
I'm putting up the camera
live cybersecurity. Yes,
because
sir.
of the
Yes, sir.
bandwidth. I
Okay.
was not using that.
Okay.
So thank you very much, sir. And any question, audience, please. You can ask.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon. Yes, Gayatri.
So my question is about, so can you give some of the preventive measures we need to follow during downloading the software or surfing the web in the terms of security, sir? Can you give some of the basic preventive steps, sir, to be followed?
For your voice is breaking. I'm so sorry, Gayatri. Maybe my bandwidth is not
Audible, sir? Now it is audible, sir.
You can type that if you want. In that chat, I can read. Just a moment. Yeah, please. It's breaking, basically. In the meantime, if someone else wants to type, they can type. I could hear half of the question, Gayatri. I'm just waiting for that question now.
So she's asking about what are the basic security requirements for using basic threats, basic requirements for fulfilling the rectifying the problems.
Some basic problems for what?
Hello.
The voice is breaking. If I could just connect my voice again.
So she's asking about the basic preventive measures, basic preventive steps while downloading softwares and surfing web. So are you able to hear my voice, sir?
Yes, sir. I can now listen to you. Yes. Gayatri, please go with your own login. Yeah.
She's asking about, so what are the basic preventive steps while downloading software and surfing web?
Gayatri, first of all, please have a good virus scanner in your system once you are downloading that. A Norton or a McHale you're using. So please keep a virus scanner. So once you are able to do it, so you can download it, because sound is breaking. I'm still not able to just hear or understand. If you can just please go for a virus scanner if you want the safe downloading of documents. You can always use a safe IP address. Please don't use anything from cyber cafe and all. Your college is a very safe environment. You can always use your labs or your own laptop for doing it if you want your data to be very safe. So all that part will have to be taken into consideration. As I said, am I audible, sir? I'm so sorry.
Sir, audible, sir, audible.
So basically the best environment for us is our college or our home. So as I said, please keep on changing the broadband's password so hackers are not able to manipulate that. And once you have everything in your laptop, use the proper virus scanner. And once we have that quality, they are looking after the internet security also. So we mostly use virus scanners, just we want to save money. We are using 500 or 600 bucks. But please buy something for 2,000, 3,000 bucks, which covers everything, internet security, everything is taken care of. So once you are downloading or you're sending your documents, they are safe in that respect. Or you're talking about any other safety, you can now ask if I'm audible to you.
Thank you, sir. You answered the questions.
Thank you.
Mohan sir, what's been your research area? I found that your research area has been networks.
No, I'm MBA, so marketing HR. Yeah.
So how was the conference, sir? It was a wonderful.
Yes,
I heard from the
yes,
internet.
wonderful, sir, wonderful. We invited a number of persons. I'm getting a
the
very
best
good
part about
persons.
this is, sir, as I heard, this is specifically for women.
Yes, sir.
So
Definitely.
wonderful initiative, sir.
Yes, sir. We're having an exclusive business school for women. Only MBA, MCA we're running.
Yes,
our institute established in 2002 with the NAC accreditation A grade. Then applied to Anna University, a standalone business school.
And it's a wonderful campus also.
Yes,
I just saw on the internet.
Yes, sir. More than 24 institutions available here, exclusive for women.
Perfect.
Even the JX institution.
It's a service to the society, sir. Really.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I'm not getting chances to utilize you in the conferences, even though just giving chances to you for again.
Sir, one minute. Someone has written a question there, Harihara.
Yes, sir.
I just interrupt your.
Just a minute.
So sorry, sir.
Yes, sir.
Harihara, you're there? How are the methods of changing password frequently will prevent the hacking? The hackers, try to break the passwords. So these passwords are basically when it's an aging problem, you keep the same password, they can guess, like with your activities also. So best part about changing the password is someone won't be able, Hariharan, you're using smartphones.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir is
So,
using software.
so you are using
Smartphone.
so you're changing your passwords in your mobile.
Hariharan, sir, are you there?
Hariharan sir, are you changing passwords on your mobile? We are all changing. Now this is a trend.
The signal problem. We are not getting the.
Yeah, that sound is breaking. I'm so sorry. So I'll just type in the answer in
The
that.
voice, yes, the voice is breaking. That's why I
Yeah.
am asking the question in the chat box.
Yeah.
The voice is breaking, sir.
Yeah, Hariharan
We
sir,
are facing the signal
I'll type in
problem
the
here.
chat. I'll type in the
Network
chat
problem.
window, and then I'll quit after typing in the chat window with
Okay,
the
okay,
thanks.
okay. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you.
And quit with the same. I'll have a class right now. So I'll just type in the chat window and thank you very much, sir.
Sir, are you there? Sir? Vaishali, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here, sir.
Okay, sir is not available.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can give the vote of thanks and we can complete it.
Sir, or we can wait for a minute, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful and enthusiastic session. You have clearly explained the cybercrime versus traditional crime and the classification of cybercrimes and malware software in detail, and also the law of cybersecurity with a good example from Ramayana. Thank you so much, sir. WIMS, established in 2002, offer full-time MBA NCA programs approved by AICTE and affiliated to Anna University, Chennai. WIMS is the only college with a spectacular destination for women empowerment, which we are conducting a lot of webinar
and weekend activities in this pandemic situation too. Every week, we used to conduct webinar on academic and non-academic theme, which is very useful and interesting for everyone. By last week, we had done with our international conference on artificial intelligence, and today we are in the spectacular webinar on cybersecurity and cybersecurity threats COVID times. This is one of the most needed thing we all must know. And thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time with us. Now I request Shanmati from MCA to deliver vote of thanks. Over to you, Shanmati.
Good afternoon, everyone. As a good thing come to an end in life, so is the webinar. On behalf of WIMS, I take this opportunity to express thanks to those who have directly and indirectly contributed to this webinar on cyber security and cyber security threats on COVID time, organized our management. At the outset, I thank our chief guest and the resource person, Dr. Ethiram Razahan. We are enlightened with our knowledge and the presence. I thank you so much, sir, for accepting the proposal for today's webinar wholeheartedly. I would like to thank our chairman, sir, and the director, sir, for this enthusiastic support. A special thanks to the head of the departments and the management assisting and encouraging all of us. Our heartfelt thanks to the participants for their presence in this webinar. With these warm words and a kind message, we move the end of the today's webinar. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Shanmati. I request Gayatri to post the feedback link.
Yes, Vaishal.
Participants are requested to fill the feedback link and receive your answer. Thank you.